Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Brian if you're new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You are fantastic, and that's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments at the start of these videos. Now, if this is your first time with me on a State of the Game Community Population Report, welcome in. We're going to dive into the numbers both on Steam charts and on stream charts. This takes a look at content creators as well. Maybe you want to go follow a few of these just excellent people who are putting out New World content. All that should be in the description of this video for you to go check out as well. But before any of that, if you guys are just curious, how do we get these numbers? How is this all factored in? I like to put these reports together to try and educate the greater gaming community about really what concurrency actually means. Now, personally speaking, I think at some point this video series will become unnecessary. I look forward to that day. I will celebrate that day greatly, but we still continue to hear dead game. A lot of that memes, a lot of people discounting New World because they heard it from some other popular content creator. And so this is kind of the science to the emotion, the science to the fact. Well, this is the facts. That's the feeling. There we go. We got it right that time. But that's what we want to explore in today's video. Now, I also am working on a predictions for the roadmap video for you guys as well. Hopefully you look forward to that. That will be here on this channel, which exclusively focuses on New World. And as a final announcement, as a part of this intro, if you guys haven't seen, I have officially left Final Fantasy XIV. I've been covering both games, but Final Fantasy XIV for me has been a journey with for the past 13 years, as I've covered it in podcast form and eventually as a YouTuber. If you guys are interested, I posted that video over on Ginger Prime. I did that for 3 reasons, just to kind of sum it up. If you don't want to check it out, to focus on my health and my family, to focus on my comedy career, and to focus on New World. And so you'll probably be seeing even more New World content from me. So hopefully you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Get your free compliment. And also beyond that, I plan on actually seeing about trying to do some gifts of fortune. I'm still looking to see how I can do that, so we'll be doing a giveaway. So if you guys want to collect any of the premium emotes or whatnot, maybe I can help cover that for you, just for your support being here. So thank you guys so much. Also, a huge shout out to my editor, Jack. Now, I'm editing this video specifically, but he's actually helping me out immensely. So if you guys can help this channel grow, I feel like pay him what he's worth, as I have started on a new journey and will have less time to actually edit these videos. So smash that like button, tell Jack in the comments thanks, and hopefully we can be able to get Jack to where he needs to be, because he already has taken a lot of stress off of me. Now, as it rains in the window, hopefully y'all don't get that picked up in the audio itself. Let's go ahead and dive into today's numbers. A few things. We do this report monthly. Where are we at this time of recording Monday morning? New World easily staying in the top 25, Xenon actually in the top 10. This weekend, we had some really big numbers. You can see here, 69,605 is our new current ceiling. Now, for me as a gamer, one thing you'll hear me talk about is floors and ceilings, because hype is a hell of a drug within gaming, and ultimately, what is the true number within the community itself? You'll see people talk about New World in a derogatory fashion because they don't understand how numbers and hype really work. And so they use hype as a negative against games, where the reality is hype is a good thing, but it isn't your true community. And Baggins and I actually talked about that on the podcast this last week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. But so you see this now, what does that translate to? Well, the thing also I want to point to you beyond just the 69 is look at those numbers of hours played. This is going to be really important when we get into it. So let's actually factor in the numbers first and foremost. How is this calculated? The industry standard for concurrent to actually monthly active users is a 7 to an 11 multiplier, 7 being the low end, 11 being the high end. If we take the low end of the concurrent by 7, you have just under 500,000 players on a monthly active user base. And now we're going to factor those hours here in a second. On the high end, we can see we get 765,000 monthly active users. That means that range ends up being anywhere from 400K to 700K. Like, think of it in those kind of terms, and that is your monthly active user base. Now, we could just go off industry standard. I like to go a little bit above and beyond in terms of my calculation, and I like to take in the hours played and factor that in as a part of it. Now, how do I get my hours played? Like, this is my personal math, but this ends up kind of structuring it. You can see here just under 500K, which is just a little bit above the low end. So what does this all mean? Well, when you look at the studies that are done on the industry. You can go pull those up. I've pulled them up in the past. Generally speaking, they say the average gamer plays 7.1 hours per week. This was a pre-COVID. Post-COVID, it ended up going up to 8.3 during that session, and it has slowly started to come back down. Now, I believe MMO players do it longer, and honestly, I probably should get a mug or something made of that for you guys, because y'all keep asking me for something like that. But MMO players do it longer, and so pre-COVID, I was doing it at times 10. Post-COVID, I'm talking about it as times 12 hours per week. And then when you factor that into the course of the month, that equals out to 48 hours per month playing this game. Obviously, this is going to be higher and lower. Some people are going to play less, some people can play more. Obviously, over the course of this last week, we've seen obviously more people logging in for longer play sessions because of the new content and the excitement and the hype, right? Can't really factor in hype. What you'll see next month is when we start looking at post-hype. What does that actually look like? Where is our new ceiling going to be, and where's our new floor going to be? But you can see here, this really backs up the low end multiplier, as almost 500,000 players have played in this month alone. Now, this also factors in queue times and things like that. But the thing that we're going to be looking for is, what's going to happen next week on November 2nd with the fresh start servers. We do not know how that's going to be impacted. I cannot even begin to guess what outlook that's going to be. Is it going to be bigger than I expect, smaller than I expect? Honestly, I probably will share that in my predictions video for you guys as well. So hopefully you look forward to that. But now you can start to see our range. This is clearly up. And so now let's start looking at our trends. So New World is continuing to trend upwards in terms of its growth. Here's the thing I'm going to keep saying until you guys can just really almost copy paste it in a comment to me, almost to the point where this is a meme. The ceiling is now 69. The floor is 13. Now, if the floor ever gets lower than 13, that's a red flag. I fully expect that we'll see numbers go down at some point. That's natural. Honestly, that's healthy to see that aspect when players actually take breaks and play. The game, especially within MMOs and games as a service, is really all about that re-invitation into the series, into the game itself. And so my personal red flag would be if it ever falls below 13 again, because that was the low of the low. And if it ever goes down below that, then that signals something is broken, something is really wrong for me. Now, you don't have to agree, but that's just what I'm going to continue to communicate. What I'm looking for is what is our new floor. And we can see here over the course since August with the 24% increase, September with a 53% increase, and already in the last 30 days, we're almost back up to the same September levels. And obviously it's not going to be the same percentage increase because we're talking about growth in this regards, but still 27% bigger than August already. And we still haven't seen the new roadmap, and we haven't seen what level of hype that will bring in. We haven't seen fresh start servers. And since fresh start will actually drop into November, we'll have a real good numbers breakdown for you guys in the next video. But this is really positive. This should get you excited. What we will see here at some point is what is the hype numbers, and again, where is the new floor being set. So you'll probably still see people, once the hype runs out and they've done the content, kind of falling back into their comfort zone of talking about the game in a negative fashion. This is something that all MMOs are going to have to battle for. This is something that we will continue to fight for in terms of just like, guys, like the game's great. Feel free to take a break. Feel free to come back. That should be the story in my mind. Whether you like seasonal based games or not, most people end up playing these games in a seasonal fashion. When there's content, they want to play content, and it's perfectly fine for them to take a break. But that's just the nature of it. So there we go, guys. Those are some of the numbers right now. You'll continue to actually see this go up and up and up because we'll continue to see like the lower numbers drop off. And being that this number, especially kind of at not a big time during the play week, even at night, I've seen it continue to maintain that. We're starting to see numbers in this case, obviously back in the 30s. And what I'm going to be looking for in terms of the overall player population is I'm looking for anywhere from 65 to 120. That's where I feel the community is really set. If you stuck around after December, that ultimately is going to put it in it. But I do think that there's going to be people, especially playing through October, November, who'd be definitely willing to come back, check it out. And beyond this, and I don't actually have the screen pulled up for you, New World is the #3 selling best game on Steam right now. And that is good. That's healthy. New players are coming in and checking out the game for the first time. They're really finding all the changes really good. Fresh start servers might help out and kind of drive that. And we also got big events and stuff planned for that. Now let's jump into the streaming side of things, because we cannot discount this. You might not agree with streaming content creation as a legitimate business. I hear gamers on that. I'd like to educate gamers that there is real big business in terms of this. We don't know if it will last. I don't think we're going to see many sweetheart deals like golden parachutes signed to big content creators, but who knows? I could be wrong in that respect. I've been wrong before. New World, over the course of the last 7 days, we're seeing an increase of 216% watch time. Peak viewers increase of 611%. Average viewers increase of 226%. Channels increased 219%. Average channels increasing by 83%. Viewers per channel increasing by 121%. If we look at this at the last 30 days, you can see here, as it refreshes, 81% for average watch, 92% peak, 81% average viewers, peak channels 218%, and average channels 52% increase, with a decrease in the viewers per channel down by 40%. So that is just some information for you guys to have. And let's take a look here overall at the breakdown for this as well. Now let me go ahead and just move this a little bit just so y'all can see a little bit more of what I have access to. Viewers right now, 18,000. We're seeing this. This also, it's going to be interesting. I've seen Asmongold stream it on his Zachwar channel. We'll see if this ends up picking up, but you can see here in the average viewers continuing to pick up in terms of its ranking, in terms of its channels. Things are starting to look up. Content creation has a real big aspect of inviting players back into the story and back into the game. And if you guys haven't seen, they're doing some really cool stuff with the story. A lot of people real positive, even big content creators not being paid to play the game, actively coming back. So it's going to be interesting to see when they turn on that spigot, because that is coming, by the way. Just be aware that is on its way. You can see here overall for September, hours watched with 138 increase, with a average viewers of 6,200. And if we scroll down, we can start to see easily some trend lines going upwards in this regards. And obviously kind of you factor out the last little bit of it, but some really good positive growth overall will be interesting. I doubt we'll ever see kind of the launch hype. Launch hype is a real big thing, but once you start to factor out launch hype, you start to actually get a real picture of it. Here's where I want to kind of do some recommendations. Sorry for any of the non-English speaking viewers out there, but that's my main language. I suck at it, but I still do okay. Baggins TV, Ken Connie, Streamer House, Redbird, Zach here, King Gathalion, BDLG, Fengrush, Danny, Towley, making the top 10 content creators and streamers for the game itself. You can see lots of really good things. You can see kind of their followers chart, really interesting to see. Streamer House growing. Right now, Baggins TV apparently on fire. Again, we just had Baggins on the podcast. Congratulations on his success as well. But this list is great. Everybody here, especially in the top 20, you see are really interesting to check out. Tricky, if you guys haven't been following Tricky, please do so. Real awesome guy. Really happy for it. I'm sorry that I'm not listing off everybody here, but these are some really great people to check out. I'll include a link to this in the description if you guys want to go follow their channels, see what they're about. If you're enjoying the Twitch content, I stream over at Work to Game on Fridays. If you guys are interested, come hang out. But that's not my career. People say, "Hey, streamer." I'm like, that's kind of weird. I view myself more as a data analyst as my voice cracks, but I'm back and I'm feeling great. And I can't wait to share more about New World and Brimstone Sands with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's player population and state of the game report, sponsored by you, because I don't have sponsors. In fact, I've been getting some emails and I don't like sponsorships. It stresses me out. So thank you guys so much for being here. The best way to support is going and lurking over on Work to Game. If we can get our streamer average numbers up, that does open up the channel to more of those Twitch incentives that continue to go around. If you guys want me to talk more about that, I'll be sure to share all the details with you guys over on Ginger Prime. Be sure to check out this podcast this week, Epic Loot Radio. You can always find it wherever podcasts are downloaded from. Just search it or check the links in the description, or join us live Wednesdays, usually around 4:30 p.m. Central Time. And that's all the plugs I got for you guys today. That's the numbers that I wanted to give you guys today as well. Thanks so much for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.